This video is sponsored by Sweetwater and more about them later. Today, I want to talk about arguably the best cinema camera in the $3,000 price range that you can get on the market today. And yes, there's plenty of other cameras like the FX3, which to me is not a true cinema camera. And this one borderlines on being a true cinema camera. But I'm speaking of, obviously, as you can see, the Blackmagic Pyxis 6K, arguably the best bang for your buck when it comes to a cinema camera with cinema like features, including SDI out, 6K open gate, shutter angle, which Blackmagic has always had, an OLPF on the sensor. So that way, chromatic aberration and moire is reduced. And all in all, just a pound for pound beast when it comes to using it for any sort of filmmaking work or cinematography. And I've had the opportunity since I've had it to film multiple pieces of commercial work as well as 2 short films. So today I just want to dive into why the Blackmagic Pyxis 6K is my favorite video camera until the Pyxis 12K comes out, but I'm also on the fence on whether or not I want the Pyxis 12K or the Ursa Cine 12K body only package. So let's just jump right in and talk about it. Now, this is not going to be any sort of scientific test. I just want to show you guys some footage and what I've been able to shoot and film and accomplish with this camera. Now, my Blackmagic days have went all the way back to, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. I had a 6K, I had a 6K G2, never had the 6K Pro. And then I had the 6K full frame before this one. Now I have, obviously, as you can see here, the Pyxis 6K. And it's just a beast. I really love this camera. As far as riggability, as you can see, you can rig it very easily. And it doesn't take much like the older Blackmagic cameras with the battery life being the issue with those. You can literally slap on a BPU 30 battery, which should give you anywhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours on the camera, just depending on what video resolution that and codec that you're shooting in or quality that you're shooting in, and just slap a lens on it. Now, albeit you just have the side screen. So I would definitely recommend the Pyxis monitor. And I did a video about that and how crucial that is to your workflow when using this camera. Just having the ability to just simply record from it is worth the weight in gold that it is, which isn't very much gold. It's only $295. But the Pyxis 6K, obviously 6K open gate, you got 4K modes, you got sensor window modes, Super 35 modes, anamorphic support, SDI out for proper video out to say an SDI monitor or a wireless transmission system. And all in all, it just works. I mean, you got Ethernet on it. You can live stream with it, use it as a live stream camera, which would be awesome for something like churches or something like that. Not what I use it for. I just use it for, some short films and some commercial work. And all in all, it's just a little beast of a camera. Now, with the new Pyxis 12K coming out, which is essentially this, but that new RGBW sensor and 12K resolution formats, I may not, say this is my favorite camera, but, that's in July sometimes when we'll to see if we get those cameras and when they start shipping in July. But all in all, if you're looking for a camera that can fit the bill, punch way above its price tag, then you should definitely consider the Pyxis 6K. Yes, there's other alternatives out there, but to me, the FX3, it costs more for one, and two, it doesn't have certain features that the Blackmagic Pyxis 6K has. Doesn't have open gate, doesn't do 6K. Yes, low light capability is better, but if you're looking to get into filmmaking and that's a passion of yours, then light shouldn't really matter to you. You should know in filmmaking that light is essential and that you should have lights on set. And typically, for any production that you do, whether that's a solo operation or if you're working on set with someone, you have a gaffer, and if you're a solo artist, then you got some lights, right? You got some lights laying around, or you can buy some inexpensive 100, 200, 300 watt lights. In that case, you make sure you have the proper lighting. So low light shouldn't be an issue to prevent you from buying this camera. The other features should push you towards buying this camera. And I just love the way that I'm able to rig it out like I have here with this Shape Cage kit, which was sent to me by Shape. Thank you so much, guys, for doing that. And I do have an ultimate rig, video coming up soon. And now I just want to take a minute to talk about today's sponsor, which is Sweetwater. Sweetwater has been around for dozens of years, and everyone knows them for musical stuff like studio recording instruments, drums and percussions, bass, guitars, keyboards, live sound, and lighting gear. But did you know that Sweetwater actually carries cameras and equipment for content creation, such as microphones, headphones, the Rodecaster Pro 2, which is an awesome audio interface if you wanted to start your own podcast or if you do any sort of voiceover work. But then also, more importantly, I just realized several months ago, and that's why I decided to start working with them. They carry video equipment such as cameras by Sony, Lumix, Blackmagic. So the cameras that I actually use, which is the Blackmagic Pyxis and the Lumix S9 and S5 II X, they carry that. They also carry stuff from DJI as far as gimbals, action cameras, pocket cameras, all of that stuff. And the awesome thing about Sweetwater is if you qualify, you can split up your purchases between 6 monthly equal payments. And that's with no hard credit check. So if you qualify, you can split that purchase up into 6 equal payments, thus making it easier at the fact that you don't have to pay for everything right up front. That helps your wallet and that helps you get the gear that you want now. They also carry lenses by Irix, which are cinema lenses. They carry Lumix lenses, Sony glass, all of that good stuff. So if you're in the market for a new camera body, or you need a lens, or you need something for your content creation journey, definitely check out sweetwater.com. I will leave a link in the description. And I thank them for being today's sponsor of this video. But just the sheer fact that you can run very easily a lot of components and accessories with this Blackmagic Pixel 6K just makes it worth its weight in gold. And, the thing is like we asked, or the majority of Blackmagic users asked for a long time, hey, make a box camera, make a box style camera. And then when you got it, some people, you still complained about it because it didn't have internal ND. What do you expect for $3,000? Like, if you want internal ND, then step up to the Ursa line of cameras. I mean, those are available. They've been available, whether that be the Ursa Mini, 4.6 G2, or now the Ursa Cine 12K or 17K. Yo, I don't want to pay that much for it. Okay, well then, pick your battle. You have tons of options. Like I have a Makey drop-in PL to L adapter, drop-in filter, excuse me, variable ND works just fine. And essentially, that's like kind of having internal ND. I just have to twist a knob, and maybe no, it's not the most functional as to hit a button to change my ND, but it's still there. I still have it. Or you can use screw-on filters, or you can use a matte box. So all I'm saying is, like, when you're thinking about it, like, pick your battle. Choose what your offset is going to be. Would you rather have an awesome camera with every other feature besides having internal ND, or do you still want to go spend more for another camera that still doesn't have an internal ND? So I don't get, the argument sometimes with it. But pound for pound, I would say even right now, even if the Pixis 12K wasn't announced, and even with the Ursa Cine 12K, the body only being still around 7 grand, if I had $3,000 to spend on a body, it would be the Pixis 6K. I mean, bar none. And there's other options, yes, even like the red Komodo just dropped down to 29.95, which is around the same price of this. But think about how much money you're gonna have to spend to rig out that red Komodo. With this, again, BPU battery, 50 bucks. Slap a lens on it. Hopefully you have a lens that can work. If not, there's inexpensive lenses out there for L mount, especially if you get the L mount version, which I would recommend. Don't get PL mount and lock yourself into just being able to have cinema lenses. I have Sigma lenses, I have Makey lenses, I have Seven Artisans L mount lenses that all can just go on here and I can shoot with it. I mean, those are really inexpensive lenses for $200 to $300, and they provide great optical quality. Are they cinema glass? No. Would you put them on here? You can. And why would you do that? Because you're looking to stay in a certain budget. You can slap a lens on here, a $50 battery. Hopefully you get the Pixis monitor with it, which is 300 bucks. And for roughly 500 to 600 bucks, you got a battery, a lens, and a monitor, and obviously the body itself, the Pixel 6K, and you're good to go. You don't have to spend $1,500 to $2,000 like you would on a red Komodo by getting those old batteries, which are very scarce at this point and they're very expensive. The media that goes in the red Komodo is very expensive. So I know a lot of people are on the hype train. Oh, it's red raw, it's affordable now, blah, blah, blah. But think about the money that you're going to have to spend just on the media and the batteries alone. Never mind rigging out the red Komodo itself. So this was just really a rant just to show my appreciation for the Pixel 6K and not to focus so much on the shortcomings of it, which there aren't many. Yes, internal ND would be nice, but really, like, who cares? There's a solution for that. There's like 3 or 4 different solutions. So why not just pick one and be happy with it? You don't have to sit there and focus on the negative. And I've loved this. It's worked well on the 2 short films that I've did and been a part of the last 2 months. One I worked on, and then one was my own. Again, I've used it for commercial work, and it's just fantastic. The image is beautiful, and the fact that it has B-raw and you can change parameters like your white balance if you got it wrong in camera. You can change the ISO on it. You can basically just slap Blackmagic's LUT on there, and you have a good way to get started with your color grade. B-raw is very easy to use, and what I like about it, besides being able to record to a SSD externally, the CF Express Type B cards cost way less than Type A cards. Like this one that was sent to me by Chip Fancier, a 1 terabyte card is around 200 bucks. Like, how can you beat that? And yes, you can buy an SSD for that, but I don't still necessarily trust external storage just because of the connection between the camera, USB cable, and the drive itself. So I recommend internal media. The Chip Fancier cards that I've been using have worked great. I've used them on the mentioned commercial shoots as well as the short film stuff, and they've worked fine. I haven't had any corrupt data or any lost files or anything. So I'll leave a link for that in the description below in case you're looking for media, in case you get one of these, Pyxis 6Ks. So all in all, just an excellent camera. Media for it's cheap. A battery for it's cheap. I forgot to mention the media when I was talking about what you need to get going. But if you have an SSD rolling around and laying around and you don't mind using it, then sure, use it. It's just one less thing that you have to buy. But all in all, the Pixel 6K is pretty much the only video filmmaking cinematography camera that you need, because 6K is plenty enough. Now, yes, I want the 12K just for various reasons. Do I need it? Nope. I just want it. So that's the thing. It's about not necessarily what you need, but what you want at times, right? So, for me right now, this is my favorite. I love this camera. I've been using it extensively, and I can recommend it if you have $3,000 for a body. If you have an old monitor laying around, yes, you can use it with this, especially if it's SDI. If you don't have SDI monitor, there's an HDMI to USB-C cable that you can buy and just use that front port and run that out to your HDMI monitor. Other than that, a $50 battery, a lens, some media, you're good to go. So strongly consider the Pixel 6K. Blackmagic did not pay me to make this video. I just wanted to give my impressions and my thoughts on this camera because I truly love it. So hopefully this gives you some insight on buying your next cinema camera or video camera. The only thing is yeah, it's manually focused. So, but Blackmagic did announce, and they already have put it in the 6K full frame, that the Pyxis will be getting autofocus with a firmware update. So that's super exciting. The fact that you'll be able to use basically spherical lenses with electronic contacts and have autofocus with this thing, it is a game changer. And that word gets thrown around a lot, really, and I get sick and tired of hearing it. But cinema cameras that have good autofocus, I mean, we already have autofocus anamorphic lenses, so the functionality and the ease of use is getting, easier and better and more optimal and efficient with these cinema type cameras or cinema lenses. So really exciting stuff. Really exciting stuff. So that's another reason why, if you don't think that you would like to try your hand in manual focus, even though I feel like you're a true filmmaker if you do, and I know that's kind of cliche, but it will be getting autofocus. So that's an awesome thing. Blackmagic just keeps on innovating and keeps on updating their cameras and giving us all the good stuff. So definitely check out the Pixel 6K. And if this helped you and give you any insight or value in any way, please consider subscribing and giving it a thumbs up on this video. I greatly appreciate it. My short film is almost done in post-production. It's coming soon. And then when I can share the other short film that I worked on, I will share that and do a behind the scenes video of that short film, which was called Simon Says. So that's some of the clips that you see in like the bar area clips in this film. So I look forward to it, guys. And until the next one, be safe, be kind, take care of each other, and have the best day. See ya.